Good evening, everybody. Grab your hot chocolates and snuggle up, because let me tell you why Christopher Columbus's Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is the best sequel ever made. Yeah, that's right. I said it. The best. Now, sequels, they're usually not up to par to the first one, but Home Alone 2, it's different. It brings back this charm of the first movie, but also introduces a new theme, New York City. So, let me tell you from the cast to the story to the setting and why Home Alone 2 is just the best sequel and the amazing Christmas classic. So, the movie begins again with Kevin in the same old house. The McAllister family is packing for Christmas and they're in a big rush again. And guess what? Their alarm didn't go off and they're late. But this time, Kevin goes missing in the airport and he gets on the wrong plane. And next thing you know, Kevin's in New York, they're in Florida, and Kevin's all alone on Christmas Eve again. This iconic introduction of New York as the setting really sets it apart as being one of the best sequels ever. First, let's talk about the cast. The return of Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister was the perfect fit. He brings a mix of charm, wit, and emotional depth that the later remakes just doesn't have with their main characters. There are also some nostalgic faces we see, like the Wet Bandits, or we know the Sticky Bandits, played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Their comedic timing and their antics to the traps are just hilarious. But with old faces also comes new faces, like the Pigeon Lady, played by Brenda Ficker. Also, there's Mr. Duncan, the benevolent toy store owner. And we can't forget Tim Curry working as the concierge at the Plaza Hotel, provided by Donald Trump, who made an appearance in the movie. And with all these characters, they were all in New York City, which was the perfect choice. The bustling streets, the tall skyscrapers, and the twinkling Christmas trees and lights all around in New York City added to a magical Christmas story. And we can't forget the iconic scene of Kevin surveying the New York iconic landmarks like the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree and the Empire State Building in his beautiful limo. The city was a playground for Kevin's traps and ingenuity. It's every child's dream, and it was sure my dream when I was a little Asian immigrant coming from China. This is the McAllister family's second annual Christmas trip, and we know Kevin grew 1 year older. And it wasn't just his age that grew, it was his maturity. He was different from the mischievous troublemaker that he was in the first movie. He showed responsibility and empathy as he wasn't as scared of the Pigeon Lady compared to Old Man Marvin in the first movie. And also, this movie, it wasn't just him screwing around. He had an objective. He wanted to save the toy store and allow the orphanage kids to have a real Christmas with toys and fun. So it showed that he had a responsibility to protect these kids, as he was the only one that knew that there was going to be a bank robbery or a toy store robbery. But come on, let's be real. We were watching the Home Alone movie for the traps, and Home Alone 2 just delivers on a whole new level. There's the hilarious electrocution to the paint cans and the iconic brick scene of Marv getting hit over and over and over again. Kevin's camcorder foreshadowing future events showed how smart and how creative young kids can be. It made such memorable moments like the hotel scene where Kevin acted like his parents. Now, with every chase and every sequence, there's the music produced by John Williams, the legendary composer. Every moment and scene and chase and traps just was enhanced by the beautiful orchestra done by him and his team. Home Alone 2 had the settings, had the story, had the music, but it also had amazing choreography with beautiful lighting shots and dim moments like in the Central Park, with warm shots in the toy store and in the orchestra. Also, there was great angle and shots showing how big and scary New York City can be to a little kid, doing low angle shots and doing wide shots showing the full setting and full beauty of New York City. Home Alone 2 really was the best sequel ever. It expands the story while also keeping the same original charm and traps that made Home Alone 1 the Christmas classic it is. Also, it develops the characters, showing Kevin's evident maturity, and Sticky Bandits remembering the old traps that they encountered. Having new funny jokes with the hotel staff and stunning choreography and music of the Christmas spirit just makes Home Alone the decade classic that it is. So, Home Alone 2, the best sequel ever. It's not just a continuation of Kevin's story, it's expansion with unforgettable cast, heartwarming stories, and creative traps. Whether you're watching it for the first time or the fifth time, Home Alone 2 reminds us the power of family and the magic of holidays. When I was a kid, I didn't have Christmas. Growing up in an Asian household, Christmas was never a thing, but Home Alone 2, watching it on Christmas morning really made me feel at home. I feel like I have a Christmas family, and that was special for me, and this is why I chose it as the best sequel ever. Merry Christmas, everybody.